Is this for us to lean into?
Oh yeah, if you want.
Hello?
Have those intimate moments, you know.
Hello.
Hell of a low.
Oh.
Oh my God. I was raised Catholic and baptized, so you know you got dunked and swear. And I don't know what it is. It's from the water they dunked you in. But no, I love swearing. Everyone in my family swears. I think it releases a valve that makes you a little bit more normal when you're not swearing. I don't know. This one does nothing but swear all the time. You should hear him.
Like,
damn.
Oh God.
We got to put a label on that. We got to put a content label now, Jason.
Damn it.
Yes.
Unless you ASMR.
Yeah, they say people who swear a lot are actually more intelligent. So,
Fuck yeah, we are.
so that's the status.
Yes. You're talking about my character Edmund, who is inspired off of many people that I see at cons who know every episode of everything. That was inspired off of, like, I imagine he watches Has-Been, and that's an Alistair cosplay or reference. There's all sorts of Has-Been Helluva references in my videos now. I try and keep Richard Horvitz out of most of them, but he still finds his way into my videos. I say, Richard, you have a face for voice acting, and
damn it!
Voice for TV and a face for radio.
Exactly. And a butt for only crimes now.
So, who do, like, of all my characters, or my characters particularly in the Helluverse?
The Helluva.
Oh, I definitely relate to Moxxie, my own character, because he's a musical theater fanatic. I'm a musical theater kid, born and raised in musical theater, and I really like the relationship between Millie and Moxxie. It's a real relationship. It's fraught with its ups and downs and compromise, and I feel that's very much the way I hope my relationship with my wife is. So that I relate to. And what are you gonna laugh about?
I'm gonna laugh about my big O that you don't pronounce in my name because his O is silent. Actually, it's also silent in Brandon. You don't really say an O there either.
Yeah, it's usually you, they say.
Yeah, and Brandon. Oh yes. What did your question was? I forget it.
Who in the Helluverse do you feel like?
Oh, Blitz. Definitely Blitz. I'm willing to bet. I don't want to speak for the rest of the cast, but I'm willing to bet that every other person on this show will probably say the same answer, because Viv doesn't cast us into when she casts a role. It's not like she's picking some actor who's not like that and making them really bend into part. Like she really. I'm willing to bet that even a lot of the people on Helluva Boss, she probably had in mind the actor first and then created the character. She just creates characters that feel like well-tailored uniforms, and you put it on and you're like, oh, I can get into this. And we've been playing Moxxie and Blitz the same since the very pilot, and it's never felt like we had to more fully realize how to deliver these lines. It's always been there, and I think that's largely in part, but because of how they wrote the characters.
Does that make it fun and easy for you? Like I said, just seeing, animation is way different than like acting in the world. Like, seeing you guys,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think that there's a happy marriage between our voice acting and the animation, and I think that the animation helps also portray the characters' attitudes and thoughts and all that. But with Brandon and I and the rest of the cast, Brandon and me,
With me and the rest of the cast, so Brandon and me and the rest of the cast.
So with Brandon and me, we, what was the question?
It's with Brandon and me and the rest of the cast. No, Brandon and the rest of the cast and me. You always go at the end, Richard.
Yes. Damn it! Yeah, no, I think that we've all been pretty much the same since. It depends on the world I'm playing in. I love the randomness and the humor and the energy of Zim. And, we're talking next year, it'll be 25 years since Zim came out. So, back then, I had that kind of energy, but now I'm kind of like more of the elder statesman for the kids on our show.
And when he gets abusive, we call it elder abuse.
Yes, elder abuse, yeah.
And we've done it's not laughing matter, actually. Kids grow up.
Sorry,
What was the...
It was my question.
Oh, yeah.
with Moxxie and things like Raz from Psychonauts, I always love those characters because they're pretty much my voice. But really what I prefer is what's the story. I like really great stories. And, I don't do a ton of different voices. I never have. In fact, you always know it's me in any of my shows because I have a distinct voice. But it occurred to me years ago, we follow Robert De Niro into any movie. And you could argue that Robert De Niro is the same in Casino as he is in Goodfellas, as he is in The Irishman. But he gets out of the way and doesn't make it about him as much as it is about the story, and that's how I feel about whatever story I get to play in. Whatever voice comes out, I have a saying: the voice does the work of the spirit of play, and so that's how I want to play, and that's the voice that comes out.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, play. Like Richard told me one time, it's like when kids are playing like cops and robbers, they're not being like freeze. Was I being comp enough? Do I do it more like no? Just a kid knows what a cop is like. Like it's purely play. And I never saw acting quite like that before working because he's vocal director. It's like taking a workshop every session, for free. I don't have to pay him. In fact, I get paid.
I pay him.
He pays me. Gotta keep the class full.
I pay him to make these comments and interviews.
Yes, and then I go home and I take a big shower.
Yeah, it's so dirty. So dirty. And that's not just for my show.
I have something for this.
I have something for this.
You do your
thing.
thing.
My go?
Yeah.
So what draws me in is that people who don't know our show think it's just about hell, violence, and lust, right? But really, the show is about relationships, and that's what draws me to the story, is that it's any number of relationships. It's Millie and Moxxie, it's Blitz and Stolas, it's Blitz and Luna, it's Stolas and Octavia. It's all about relationships, and that's the main part of this. But in the end, it's also about love. And so I always like to say, hey, love is hell, so that we're in hell and there's love.
I like both shows equally for different reasons, and I think it's why they don't inherently compete with each other, is that they feel very different, even though they're from the same universe. One deals with this great, big, gargantuan, we gotta save hell, and this apocalyptic thing is about to happen, and it's like war. But in Helluva, it's like a marital issue can feel just as big as trying to save hell, and I like that because it scratches different parts of my brain. I enjoy a big, comic book-like story, and I also enjoy characters that I can relate to the very human things that they're going through. I think hell is such a great landscape for Helluva Boss particularly because the issues are based in love, and people look at it and you think, oh, it's a show about hell and they're swearing, but then like what they're going through comes from a place of, these people should be in heaven, a lot of them, and
So like Brandon will be the first to tell you, is like Brandon's also a writer on the show, so he sometimes we're doing a line and we're writing it as we're doing it, and other times it's like, okay, we want to go a different direction, let's see, so I'm going to paint the picture for you, let's hear your story. You're with Stolas, and Stolas is he's got this Asmodeus crystal, and then I create the story for them. I've never ever had to give a line reading ever, so I have to create the story in their head. They see it, and then we go action, and then we get to take the
Yeah, Richard's really good at setting us up when we're starting a scene to remind us of the context. Like we just did a session the other day, and he's just really good at being like, remember, you came in, you're out of breath, you just came from this thing, or keeping us exactly, playing. And also we've been kind of experimenting a little. We've always had kind of. We will try new things, and if something works in the moment, we'll be like, yes, let's try that, but now add a little this to it, or which I like that because it's a beautiful form of improv.